All right, we're about to tackle some of the absolute biggest, head-spinning ideas in theology. We're talking sovereignty, free will, wrath, and grace. But we're going to do it using a surprisingly simple and frankly super high-pressure analogy, running a fancy steakhouse during a crazy Saturday night rush.
This right here, this is our North Star for the next few minutes. We're going to take all these big, abstract ideas and watch them play out in the trenches of a chaotic professional kitchen. Trust me, it's a really fresh way to see how all these powerful forces could actually work together. So come on in. Welcome to the Cosmic Steakhouse. I want you to picture a place where the customer is, all of humanity. The menu is set in stone. And the stakes of tonight's dinner service? They're cosmic. And here's the drama, right? The goal, the absolute objective is perfection. Every single order comes out right, every customer leaves happy. But as anyone who's ever worked in a restaurant can tell you, reality is a whole lot messier. People are going to make choices, mistakes are going to happen, and the entire night just hangs in the balance.
Okay, before the chaos of dinner service really kicks off, we have to get the lay of the land. We need to understand the management structure. Who's in charge here? Who's actually doing the work? And what are the rules of the house? Let's meet the team. So first, you've got the owner. He's the one who designed the whole menu, he owns the building, and this is crucial, he holds the master reservation book. He already knows exactly how many people are showing up tonight and what the final sales are going to be. This is what we're calling sovereignty. It's that big picture master plan for the entire operation.
But, and this is a big but, the owner is not a micromanager. He isn't standing over the line cooks, moving their hands like they're puppets. The cooks, they have free will. They get to choose how they hold their knives, how much salt goes on the steak, which pan they use. They're genuinely free to do their jobs, and because of that, they're responsible for the work they put out. And this is where it gets really interesting, because these two things exist at the same time. You've got the owner's sovereign plan, the reservation book is full, he knows how the night ends. And simultaneously, you have the cook's total freedom and their responsibility. The key thing to get here is that in this steakhouse, both are 100% true. The real choices the cooks make are the very way the owner's plan actually happens.
Okay, the doors are open, the tickets are printing like crazy. It's time to see this whole management structure in action. We're going to do that by following just one single order for a ribeye steak. This is where all those abstract ideas are about to get very, very real.
So our steak's little journey has 3 crucial steps it has to go through before it can even think about being plated. It all begins with the order, then it faces a super important inspection, the temp check. And well, it might even need what's called a refire. Each one of these steps is going to show us another piece of this theological puzzle.
Okay, step 1, the order. Simple enough. The customer decides what they want, the cook takes that ticket and starts cooking. These are real choices, not robotic actions. I mean, the customer could have gotten the chicken, right? The cook could have used a different seasoning. This is free will happening live on the line. And here's the crisis. The cook got busy, maybe turned their back for a second too long, and that perfect medium-rare ribeye is now cooked all the way through to well done. A mistake has been made. A standard has been broken.
Now we're at step 2, the temp check. The manager comes over, sticks a thermometer in it, and it reads 160 degrees. The ticket clearly says medium rare. In our metaphor, this is wrath. But it's not the manager throwing a fit and yelling. Think of it like a health code, a totally objective, unemotional standard. This steak failed the test. It is condemned. It cannot be served. End of story.
So what happens now? The cook messed up. They wasted a really expensive piece of meat. What's the fix? You might think the restaurant just, eats the cost and moves on. But according to our analogy, that's not how grace works at all. And see, this little phrase, this gets to the very heart of the whole idea. The cost of that ruined steak doesn't just evaporate into thin air. Somebody has to pay for it. The loss is real, and it's got to be accounted for on the books.
Which brings us to step 3, the refire. This is grace in action. The manager steps in, he comps the wasted steak in the system, and then he hands a brand new one to the cook. The manager, who works for the owner, personally absorbs the cost of that mistake. And this single act, it saves the dinner service, it keeps the relationship with the cook intact, and it makes sure the customer still gets the perfect steak they ordered.
All right, deep breath. Service is over. Let's all head to the back office for a little post-shift meeting. We're going to run through some of the questions the kitchen staff might have after a crazy night like that one. This is really going to help lock in these big ideas.
First question.
That moment at the pass, the temp check, it felt pretty intense. Was the manager just angry? Was he mad at the cook for messing up?
And the answer is a hard no. He's not angry. He's just. He's a pro, and he's upholding the restaurant's standard. Think about it. He hates the badly cooked steak because he loves the guest and cares about their experience. His rejection of that flawed plate is actually rooted in his commitment to excellence.
Okay, here it is, the big one. If the owner already knows the final number in the reservation book, does any of the sweat and hustle from the cooks even matter? I mean, why not just phone it in?
It's because the hard work of the cooks is the plan. The owner's knowledge of the outcome doesn't make the work pointless. It actually includes the work. The choices the cooks make, their skill, their effort, that's the very engine that makes a successful night happen. They're essential partners in this thing, not pre-programmed robots.
All right, last question, and this one is so important. That ruined steak, the one that got comped in the system, that cost didn't just disappear. So where did that loss actually go? And this is the bottom line of the entire steakhouse metaphor. The owner himself pays the bill. He takes the financial hit. He pays for it out of his own pocket to cover the cook's mistake. So grace isn't a debt that's just forgotten. It's a debt that's paid in full by someone else, which allows the restaurant's books to balance perfectly at the end of the night.
So, let's just quickly recap the big management takeaways from tonight's service. 1. The owner isn't a micromanager. He trusts his people with real choices. 2. Wrath isn't about anger. It's just good business, a serious commitment to quality. 3. Grace is an expense, and it's the owner who pays the bill. And 4. The menu is fixed. The standards of the house don't change.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. If we stick with this metaphor, if your life is the order ticket being sent back to the kitchen, what's the quality of the work that's being written on it? And maybe more importantly, when it's time to settle up, who's paying the final bill?